Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Theology in Under 10, a Bible study for busy people. This is Bible study for people who don't have a lot of time. Every episode is under 10 minutes. If you want to study theology, but you don't have a lot of time, this is the podcast for you. I want to begin this podcast by reading Exodus 2:25. Now, depending on what version you read, it might say something slightly different. The NIV says, "So God looked on the Israelites and was concerned about them." The New Living Translation says he looked down on the people of Israel and knew it was time to act. But the ESV gets the translation pretty accurately and honors the original Hebrew. It says, God saw the people of Israel and God knew. So the people were suffering. They were in Egypt. They were oppressed and working as slaves with no freedom in sight. There was anguish, mental, spiritual pain, but deliverance was coming. God saw the people of Israel and God knew. This verse is comforting because it's a reminder that God sees us. And not only that, he knows what we're going through. First, I want to talk about the first part of this verse. It says God saw the people. He is a God who sees. You ever go through something and feel like nobody notices what you're going through? You're struggling. Nobody seems to care. It's like you're invisible. It's a really lonely feeling to feel unseen. And I know what that feels like. And the reason it feels so lonely is because people tend to take notice of valuable things. We like shiny objects. We look at things that are beautiful and interesting a little bit longer. So when people see us, metaphorically speaking, we feel as if we're being treated with the inherent dignity that we deserve. We feel valued. There's a culture, someone email me and let me know which culture it is if you know what I'm talking about, because I really don't know. But I know that the common standard greeting is, I see you. They don't say hi or good morning. They say, I see you. I love that. People appreciating each other in that way. It's a pretty awesome way of acknowledging your fellow human being who is also made in the image of God. So God sees the Israelites, and the next part of the verse says, he knows. It doesn't say God understands. Because it's deeper than that. It's deeper than understanding what they're going through. He knows what they're feeling and enduring. He knows. I once took a course where a portion was dedicated to helping people work through grief. And our professor taught us that when we grieve, God grieves with us. When you grieve, God grieves with you. And I found that so comforting. But the theological side of me said, is this biblical? And I thought about Jesus at the tomb of Lazarus, surrounded by people who were grieving. And what was Jesus doing? He was weeping with them. It's the shortest verse in the Bible in English. Jesus wept. God does grieve with us. He doesn't just empathize with us either. He knows. When people are hurting, we don't always understand. We can try to understand. We can try to empathize, but unless we've been through the exact same thing and have their exact personality and background and emotional makeup, we can never truly know how they feel. We can only try to understand to the best of our ability, but God knows. God saw the people of Israel and God knew. God sees you and he knows and he's there. Even if he feels far away, he's there. He sees you and he knows and he's aware of every tear you shed, of every feeling that you have. God bless you. Thank you for listening to this podcast. If this podcast is helping you, subscribe. Share it with someone you think might be helped by this message. I love you all. Have a great week. Shalom.